Hello and welcome to episode 23 of I Will Cast Anything. We're here on good old Cloud Kingdom for a ZVT. The blue Zerg player in the top right hand corner is SuperHumble, and the red Terran player in the bottom left hand corner is Max. SuperHumble sent me this replay. He also sent me the previous replay in which he played Protoss. In this one he's playing Zerg, and I mentioned that he sent me 3, so I think the clever viewers will be able to figure out what's going to happen in the third replay. But we saw SuperHumble in that previous game playing as Protoss pull out some pretty ridiculous tricks. He looked like he was going to go Forge Fast Expand, but then actually went for a sort of weird cannon contain with a couple of gateways in there, and then went heavy Void Ray behind it and just was doing crazy harass for the whole game. And, got up to 5 bases and just wiped the floor with his opponent. It was pretty fun. We'll see if he does some crazy Zerg stuff in this game. He's not going for a totally wacky early spawning pool or anything like that, so not that brand of crazy at least. But I have to say, after that first game, I will be a little bit disappointed if SuperHumble doesn't go for at least some mild cheese, shall we say, like a creamy cheddar variety of cheese. We might be seeing just seeing a command center first from Max. I was worried there might be a proxy barracks about to be put down, but command center first. Pretty solid on this map. And hatch first from SuperHumble. Everyone loves expanding on Cloud Kingdom, and just in general. Here's the spawning pool now, coming at 15 supply, and the two players are going to be just about equal, getting their expansions up. No one scouting with anything at the moment except for SuperHumble with this meandering slow overlord ponderously pondering its way across the map. And now we do see that barracks coming down for SuperHumble, and the spawning pool is going to finish up for the Zerg players. We'll see what he's going to do with that. And a gas is being taken here. We might expect to see Hellions in the not so distant future. I don't think that would be a particular surprise to anyone. And gas taken for the Zerg player. And Ling's coming out first. Wants to get in there, do a bit of a scout, I would imagine. His first overlord is coming around here, checking out the gas on the natural at the moment. And there's the second hatch. And that second orbital command. 2 orbital commands coming. Get those mules down. Get that money flowing. And a nice defensive bunker from Max as well. It looks like quite a lot of Lings coming from SuperHumble here early on in the game. It's got 6 out already and another 8 on the way. Pretty large force here. There's 1 Marine just about to finish and 2 more barracks coming down. So Max also thinking about some early unit production here. 3 barracks, so he's going to be up to 4 barracks in quite a short space of time. But there's a lot of Lings coming his way. 14 Zerglings on the map. This barracks is finished. It's got 2 Marines in it, but they can run right past that if they so choose. Doesn't manage to wall off with the mules, and the Lings are going to go up round the unfinished wall and into the main base. They'll stop and kill a few SCVs there. 1 goes down, 2 don't quite get the 3rd. The Marines come back, and there are 6 Lings now into the mineral line at the main base. 1, 2. Where are those Marines? 3. Oh, this is doing a lot of damage. That's because the second wave of Zerglings has appeared down here. I didn't even spot that. This has been a great bit of harassment. Finally is cleaned up in the main. The 2 more coming up from the natural. Now a single Marine is trying to kite them back to the barracks. And more Lings. Lings everywhere from SuperHumble. And these extra barracks are just about finished. after having to run his SCVs away. And going up to lair now, so just lings and lairs so far from SuperHumble. Quite effective with this harass, it must be said. There was one ling hiding out behind the mineral line there, but it's being cleaned up. 14 workers killed already. Traded one worker for one ling that whole time. And he is taking a second gas as lair is nearly finished. And he is running by again, but the wall off is complete. And that's going to seriously limit the amount of damage he can do, but he's already done so much. Zergling speed finally coming, but I think these lings are going to be thrown away now. Killing a few more workers just for good measure. Oh, doesn't quite get that last one. Up to 17 workers killed now. Taking his third comfortably, knowing that he's put his opponent on the back foot with that excellent harassment. 4 Marines out on the map now for Max. SuperHumble getting some more gas here. We'll see what he's waiting to lay down. It's going to be a Baneling nest. Getting a couple spines to protect the ramp up to his main as well. Needs to get his creep spread going. This third can be very vulnerable on this map. Got a lot of distance to run units up there to defend. And a Nidus network. We are going to see some trick plays from SuperHumble in this game. Quite apart from those, that early Zergling pressure. See 2 evolution chambers. Borrow Nidus network researching. So we're going to see where he thinks he can put it down. Terran player has pretty good vision over all of the high ground up here, so he's not going to be able to pop it down there. He's not going to be able to get it anywhere inside the base, but he could just pop it up at this third here. We'll see what he decides to do. Baneling speed coming. Could we see a Nidus network full of Banelings trying to burrow up somewhere at some point? I think that'd be pretty interesting. Max, meanwhile, is building that third command center, getting ready to float it down. He's got Marines and Marauders on the way. He's got Stim and combat shields researching. He's taking the gases at this natural. He's trying to get back into this game, get up to a good unit composition, and get some engineering bays down and get some upgrades as well. It looks like Baneling speed about a third of the way done. Carapace coming, and Banelings morphing in. This Nidus network has not been deployed yet. Just sitting there waiting for the opportune moment, one would imagine. Oh, it is building now. It's being full of Banelings and Zerglings. Where is it? He's going inside the base. This is within vision. Max knows where this is, but he doesn't see it. Here come the Zerglings one by one, vomiting out. And here are the Banelings. They're going to go into the worker line. Oh, they ran away at just the right moment. Not a fantastic hit. Can he get some Marines? Yes, he can. A good hit on the Marines. And he does get a hit off. Only one, though. Not able to take out too many workers. Up to 24 killed now. That Nidus worm will be killed. But he can always build another one. That should have been spotted by Max there. SuperHumble a bit lucky to get that off. But some more great harassment. He is going to lose that Overseer in the meantime. And a huge wave of drones for SuperHumble now. He's going to get his economy up and running in one fell swoop of a huge number of drones. And also throw down an infestation pit. That Carapace upgrade is nearly finished. The planetary fortress nearly done. At the third for Max, and he's finally going to move out onto the map, see if he can do some poking and prodding of his own as Stim finishes up. He does have combat shield on these Marines as well. A couple of Hellions on the way for Max. So the slight supply disadvantage, but still in this game there's a good wall of spine crawlers up at this third base, and that's easily going to deflect this attack. And in fact, these Lings might come out if they can get a surround on one of these Marines. They will take out the last one. Can they take out another? Yeah, they will, and they're probably going to get this Marauder as well. I think so. No, maybe not. Oh, they did get him. No, they didn't. He got into the bunker. What else does SuperHumble have up his sleeve for clever harass? Is it just Nidus Network? Is he going to wait and go for that again? He's got a Roach Warren coming down and 5 Infestors on the way. Concussive Shells are on the way for Max. And he's going Marine Marauder Hellion at the moment. 6 of each. But look at all these upgrades coming down. Carapace level 2, Pathogen Glands. +1 missile attack. And there's another Nidus Worm coming up somewhere. Oh no, sorry, he's building another network. Why would he need 2? How strange. That's the Roach Warren. That's the Nidus Network. Going to be a double Nidus Network. Infestors and Banelings in the Nidus Network. Is that what we're going to see here from SuperHumble? Building armor coming from Max. He's worried now. I think he knows that some weird things are going to happen in this game. That second Nidus Network is finished. What does SuperHumble have planned here? Neural Parasite, I think. That has got to be the crux of whatever crazy plan is going on, surely. Interesting stuff. Max has got a pretty decent army going at the moment, about even in supply. But there's going to be a big upgrade lead for SuperHumble. He's going up to Spire now. Get some air units out on the field. And tanks are coming out as C-Check nearly finishes up. And a 5th being taken for Max. And SuperHumble's 5th just finishing up. Both players spreading out, neither putting on a lot of pressure at this point in time. Here comes the Nidus Network, loading up with Infestors. Where is it going to pop? Here it comes. And nothing being pulled to deal with it at the moment. Max may not have spotted this. 2 Nidus Networks coming into the main base. Here comes the first one. It's full of Banelings and Infestors. Where is the army? It's finally coming up. It's finally been noticed. The Lings go into the mineral line first, then the speed Banelings. Oh, they're burrowing in the mineral line. When these workers come back, that's going to do a lot of damage. What else have we got coming here? Lings. Now the Infestors are out. The whole army of SuperHumble just appeared. Got a huge fungal down on all those Marines. The Banelings come up. There's so many Banelings burrowed down here in the mineral line. And the Infestors have fled. Oh no, they're coming back to try and get one more fungal on this army. Can they do it? It stims in. There's the fungal. And I think those Infestors are going to drop down a couple more fungals and then retreat back into the Nidus Network. Or will they be sacrificed? Looks like they are going to be left. A few of them get out. And the Banelings have unburrowed and done their damage. Massive damage done by SuperHumble, it's fair to say. 2,000 ahead in units lost, and just mad harassment going on. 61 workers killed in total by SuperHumble. He's got twice the SCVs that Max has, twice the workers that Max has at this point. That is bananas. This 4th base has just been left here ignored by Max. He was so busy dealing with that attack. He's got a lot of medvacs out now. He's got some tanks. But his supply disadvantage is colossal at the moment. A lot of that is workers. But still, dangerous times. And what do we see? We see a lot of corruptors. We see a lot of Infestors from SuperHumble at the moment. Quite a few roaches as well. Don't see that Greater Spire yet, but he is going for Nidus again. Is he going to pop up in the same place? No, he's gone behind the mineral line at the natural this time. The Infestors are out. Great fungals on that army again. These medvacs are going to be vital in keeping everything alive. Here goes some infested Terrans. These Infestors burrowing up behind there, popping out, doing some damage and running away again. But I don't think that was quite as effective from SuperHumble. Didn't manage to take out any structures. He did kill 8 more workers, but not the phenomenal kind of harass that the first Nidus Network attempt was. We'll see if he goes for even more Nidus Network craziness, or if he actually attacks by walking across the map at any point. +1 weapons coming down now. At long last for Max getting in some upgrades, but already +2 armor and good attack upgrades for SuperHumble. Starting to get drones down to his 5th base now, and this force of corruptors is going to sweep around, try and pick off those medvacs if it can, I suspect. And a forest of spines going down to protect this quite vulnerable 4th base for SuperHumble. And lots of macro hatches being plopped down all over the place and going up to layer tech, so we could be seeing Broodlord soon. Would not surprise me at all. Maybe just getting a bit of a scout off with these corruptors, or maybe leaving them to morph into Broodlords behind the base, actually. That could be the plan. Here's that Greater Spire coming. More flyer attacks, missile attacks on the way even. I wouldn't be surprised if these morph into Broodlords and then just come and rain death down. There is one lonely Viking on half health, less than half health up here, that might try and fight them off, but it's going to be a big ask. So many macro hatches going down at the moment. Just sticking them up all over the place. And an expansion. Because why not? Oh, we are having a push here from Max, who's finally recovering, you think, maybe from the... yes, his worker count is back up closer to where it needs to be. We'll see how effective he can be with this push. He's got 4 siege tanks in here, a lot of marines, 3 Hellions. Here's the army. These rocks are still there, so there's a very narrow surface area and great fungals coming down from the high ground. This isn't a good angle for Max to attack at. Siege tanks are doing good damage to the roaches in those gaps, but great fungals again coming down, and the infested Terrans flying down for the high ground. There's so many infestors on the field, 16 infestors. And that's easily going to push back this attack from Max. And now SuperHumble has a 30 supply lead. And there are Broodlords morphing in. All of them being morphed in, so no corruptors left to take out this Viking. But Carapace level 3, missile attacks level 3. Huge upgrade advantage for SuperHumble at the moment. Max, meanwhile, trying to get some harass on, trying to do a drop. But there's nothing to kill here. Well, except perhaps the hatchery. I don't think SuperHumble would be too upset about losing that. Meanwhile, the Broodlords are going in, down into the mineral line. This one Viking is going to pick them off one by one, but they're going to do so much damage. They're going to take this engineering bay. More Nidus Networks comes down. He only wants to attack in this one spot. SuperHumble doesn't care about walking across the map. He says, nope, I'm going to pick one spot behind the mineral line of my opponent's main. I'm going to attack it again and again and again. This drop is carrying on. He's just dropping down onto this army here. That's maybe not the greatest idea Max has ever had. And there are just a ton of infestors in his base now. Broodlord Infestor army has just arrived at his base. And that's, unsurprisingly, the time that Max chooses to leave the game.